Hello, you are welcome. The question here today says an object of density 9.0 gram per cm cube appears to have mass 27.0 gram in a liquid of density 1.2 gram per cm cube. What is the volume of the solid? Now, first of all, take note that the units are in gram, the masses in gram, and the volume in centimeter cube. So we're not bothering about conversion of units here. So we use the values exactly the way it is. Now, let's move on to the formula for density. Now, don't forget that density, let me use rho now. Density, rho, is equal to the mass of an object all over its volume. I want to believe we all know this formula. So now, we know the density of the object, but we don't know its mass and we don't know its volume. So now, the first thing for us we can do here, let's express the mass of the object in terms of its density and volume. So let me substitute values in this formula. So the density of the object is 9. 9.0 is the same thing as 9. And is equal to the mass of the object that we do not know all over the volume of the object that we do not know as well. Now, if I cross multiply this formula, you agree with me that this is like 9 over 1. So the mass multiplied by 1 will give us the mass, m. And it's equal to the density 9 multiplied by the volume, v, will give us 9v. So in this case, we can take the mass of the object as 9v. That's the mass of the object. Now, when the object was immersed in a liquid, it appears means it is not its original mass. It appears to have mass 27.0 gram. So that means inside the liquid, it weighs 27. This is not its actual weight. That's why the word appears is used here. So this is not its actual mass. So it appears to have this mass of 27.0 gram in the liquid. So now we can find upthrust in the liquid. So the upthrust, now I'm going to use the letter U for upthrust. The upthrust U will be equal to, upthrust is the mass of the object, the original mass of the object, m, minus its mass in the liquid. Don't forget that formula. Upthrust is the mass of an object in air, that is the original mass of the object, minus the mass of the object in a liquid. So just like upthrust is loss of weight or loss of mass of an object when it is immersed in a liquid. So we can simply say the upthrust is the mass of the object in air, which is 9v. Don't forget that this is the mass of the object, 9v. 9v minus the mass of the object in the liquid, and that is 27. 27.0 is the same thing as 27. So 9v minus 27, and that will give us the upthrust. 9v minus 27. Now, let me give you a very important formula under density and upthrust. That the density of a liquid, please, if you are not taking anything home, take this formula home. Even from this video, if you are not taking anything from this video, please take this one, because students usually find this topic very challenging. So the density of a liquid, when an object is immersed in the liquid, the density is equal to the upthrust of that solid or object all over the volume of that object, V. Please, like I said before, if you are not going to take anything from this video, this lesson, this tutorial, if you are not going to take anything from it, please take this formula only and then leave this video. Because this formula is very, very important in solving problems that have to do with upthrust. So the density of a liquid, don't forget again, let me emphasize this formula. The density of a liquid is equal to the upthrust that the object immersed in that liquid, the upthrust of that object, divided by the volume of that object. Now, this volume is always the liquid displaced, or you can also say the volume of the object itself. So this is the volume of the object itself, which is also the volume of the liquid displaced displaced by the object. So now let's apply this formula. So because we are told that the solid is immersed in the liquid. So the density of the liquid, let's use this formula now. The density of the liquid as given to us in the question is 1.2 gram per centimeter cube. That is the density of the liquid. So let's apply it in solving this problem. So the density of the liquid is 1.2 as given to us in the question, and that is equal to the upthrust of the solid. And I already have upthrust here that it experienced. So the upthrust is 9V minus 27. That is the loss of weight in the liquid. So that's the upthrust. And then all divided by the volume, V. So the density of a liquid is equal to the upthrust. Now, the upthrust in this case is in mass. The upthrust here is in gram, because density is mass in gram or kilogram divided by the volume. So the upthrust in this case is in gram. You can always convert to kilogram if the case is needed in any particular question. So now 1.2, if I cross multiply, don't forget this is like over 1. So let me cross multiply 9V minus 27 multiplied by 1 will still give me 9V minus 27. And that will be equal to 1.2 multiplied by V will give me 1.2V. Now I can simplify further, and I have 9V is here. This 1.2V is a like term, so let's bring it to this left hand side. It becomes minus 1.2V, and it's equal to, this is minus 27. When it comes to this right hand side, it becomes plus 27, positive 27. So 9V minus 1.2V will give me 7.8V, and that will be equal to 27. So for me to get the value of V, I simply divide both sides by 7.8. 7.8, and then this over 7.8. So 7.8 cancels 7.8, and I'm left with V on this side. And that is equal to 27 divided by 7.8 will give me 3.46. And then the volume, don't forget this is volume, so it's in centimeter cube according to the question. So this is the volume of the solid or of the object. Hope you enjoyed this video. Please don't forget to like, share, and join for more videos. Thank you for watching.